NASCAR has officially announced their new media rights deal. What's going on, guys? It's Daniel and welcome back to your video. As I just said a second ago, NASCAR has officially announced a new media rights deal. According to reports from Adam Stern, the media rights deal is going to go from 2025 to 2031. Remember, the original deal that we have currently goes from 2015 to 2014, and the new media rights deal is going to be shorter for 7 years. In addition to that, for each year, the company will get $1.1 billion per year, meaning a 40% increase over NASCAR's current deal. According to a report that Adam Stern has put out, they plan to make a formal announcement later today, which by the time you're watching this announcement has been officially revealed. The deal is going to start in 2025 and end in 2031. The 40% increase represents a big win for the racing circuit, especially given the lightening of the marketplace around sports media rights caused by cord cutting and cord shaving. NASCAR execs said the drawn-out negotiations started earlier this year, took longer than expected, but NASCAR President Steve Phelps said the deals will position a racing circuit well amid the upheaval in the media business. So here's how the deal is going to look according to Adam Stern in a report that came out. NASCAR has 3 national series, of course, the Cup Series, Xfinity Series, and the Truck Series. As part of its new deals, Fox will get 14 Cup Series races annually in the first portion of the season, and that includes the Daytona 500. After Fox carries its 14 events, Amazon Prime's Video will stream 5 events, marking the first time that NASCAR's premier events will be exclusively streamed. Let's get into that really quick. It's no surprise and shock to see that Amazon is coming to play. For the last year or two, we've heard that Amazon has been a front runner when it comes to this new media rights deal and that they were going to be in play. NASCAR was going to have to get ahead in streaming, so it's not a major shock and surprise to see that they are going to be joining NASCAR as a new premier thing in 2025. In addition to that, Warner Bros. Discovery will take over after Amazon's races and carry the next 5, which will be simulcast on both TNT and the Bleacher Report Sports tier on the Max streaming service. NBC Sports will complete the season with the final 14 races. It sounds like to me that those races will potentially be on cable. I'm not entirely sure, but it's not completely confirmed. Once that it gets announced, I'll probably get those answers there. But it will be on TNT, meaning that for the first time since the 2014 season, NASCAR will be back on TNT. Turner Broadcast System, which of course is where TNT comes from, has been part of NASCAR for many, many years, and it's good to see that they are going to be officially coming back in 2025. It's really great to see that TNT is making a return, and also Bleacher Report as well. As for the media rights deal, also remember that the Xfinity Series is going to be headed to the CW starting in 2025, which will go through its deal through 2031 as well. There's a lot of positive things to go over and a lot of negative things to go over from the rest of this as well. According to reports, and it's also included in the thing as well, of the 14 races to be aired by Fox Sports, 5 will be on the Fox Broadcasting Channel, while the rest will be on FS1. Of the 14 to be aired on NBC, 4 will be on the NBC Broadcast Network, while the rest will be on the USA Network. I got a lot of things I do want to say about this. I think this is definitely the big negative right here, because you do have the streaming stuff coming in, which is going to cost a lot of people more money. In my personal and honest opinion, every single NASCAR Cup Series race, except maybe the All-Star race and maybe a couple other races as well, should be on the broadcasting. You're charging people cable, and people are going out of cable very, very quickly. Now, of course, you have companies like YouTube TV that have come in, which have cut the cost quite a bit on cable, but you're still paying $72 to $73 a month for YouTube TV if you get the basic package. That price has gone up in the last few years from almost like $50 to $60, and that has gotten up into the $70 to $80 range. That is a lot of money, especially with the new streaming services like the Bleacher Report and HBO Max and TNT coming in. In my personal opinion, I think that every single NASCAR Cup Series race should be on main networks. I mean, that's what they're doing with the CW for the Xfinity Series. Every single Xfinity Series race is going to be on the CW, and it's going to be on broadcasting, meaning the Xfinity Series has a really great opportunity and a really great chance to grow as a brand. As for the NASCAR Cup Series, you're going to be confusing a lot of people. At least it's not like in 2000, though, where you had 1 week where you're on ESPN, the next week you're on CBS, 1 week you'd be on TBS, another week you'd be in TNN. All these races are going to be in a row, but it's a little confusing for a lot of people because you're going to be jumping through a lot of hoops to try to basically buy a lot of packages as well. But in the same time as well, looking at the streaming side of things when it comes to going to Amazon, it makes a lot of sense. Look, I know a lot of people are not in Amazon yet, but streaming is growing in the United States. You look at, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think 130 million people have Amazon Prime, and that number is increasing on a year-by-year basis. And let's be honest with ourselves, cable is starting to go away really quickly, which is why I am a little confused into seeing NASCAR going ahead and going and still using USA in FS1 when NASCAR clearly knows that they basically, cable is going away. I would have to imagine it once we do get official word, which we'll probably talk about this on Friday once all this stuff kind of gets announced. I would imagine that NASCAR probably does have some structure and contracts that do come into play as well. But again, going back to the Amazon stuff, I think it's really exciting and really awesome to see that Amazon is going to be part of NASCAR's broadcasting rights starting in the 2025 season. And a big positive of this too is more money coming into play. And why is this also very important? Well, this matters for the charter agreement as well, because with this media rights deal finally getting announced, NASCAR can now go back to the table and go back to the teams and figure out how much money they want to bring. The teams, we all know, they want to make the charter agreement official, but of course NASCAR, which we know that Steve Phelps said recently, as a matter of fact, we look back to Monday when he basically said that he's all in for the charter agreement, but the CEO, Jim France, will not budge in regards to the charter agreement, but we all know the teams want to make it permanent. We've heard talks about maybe a cost cap coming into play, and NASCAR can now go back to the table and try to figure out with this charter agreement. I wish this announcement would have happened a lot sooner, do not get me wrong, but at least on a positive note, we are finally getting the media rights deal. And like I said, it will be announced here in the not-so-distant future. Going back to TNT, though, that's another thing I kind of want to talk about. I'm really glad to see that TNT is coming back to the sport. I would love to see, like, Wally Dallenbach and Alan Bestwick come back on NASCAR and TNT. They both were amazing on NASCAR and TNT over the years. And I wonder what other personalities are going to come into play as well. Again, we're not entirely sure. I think it's going to be on cable, if I'm not mistaken. I think TNT is on cable, so it's a little bit of a negative, unfortunately. Again, I still believe that every single NASCAR Cup Series race should be on main broadcast. But like I said, at least there's a positive here. At least we got the media rights deal finally done. We're waiting on this for such a long time, and I'm glad to see the NASCAR has finally come to their senses and have finally come to the table and announced. And it's more money coming in for the teams as well, which again is going to be a 40% increase over last year, which means more money for the teams, and that's a huge step in the right direction for the sport with more money coming into play, which again, we already know the teams want to make the charters permanent, among other things, but I think this is a massive step in the right direction in regards to that. So I'm really happy about this. And again, I know people are probably against streaming, but again, you've got to get streaming into play. Otherwise, the sport may not be able to grow. So I think this is a massive step in the right direction for the sport. And I'm really happy and finally glad to see that the media rights deal has been officially announced. NASCAR will be, of course, on Fox and NBC once again. Let's talk about Fox for a second. Fox, please do a better job with your coverage. Your coverage was really, really bad this year. Get it better. NBC, you've got some work to do, but I think you've shown a lot of work in the last few years. You're not perfect, but you're definitely way better than Fox has shown. Again, with the Fox coverage, I really hope the Truck Series goes CW because the Truck Series probably will have better broadcasts on the CW than they do at Fox currently at the moment. Nonetheless, glad to see that the media rights deals are finally officially announced. So, that is here today's NASCAR news and motorsports news video. I want to thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe to the channel, notifications on, so if I win a video, it does go live on my channel. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, as for on Patreon as well. Links go below that, and comment your thoughts on today's video. What are your thoughts about Amazon and TNT coming on the new media rights broadcast and Fox and NBC returning on the next TV deal? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Tomorrow on the channel, more than likely, there's going to be another team preview dropping on the channel talking about Legacy Motor Club, perhaps. Then on Friday, we're likely going to have another NASCAR news video. We're going to talk about the RFK announcement that came out today, as well as more on the media rights deal. Saturday, there's more than likely going to be either a team preview or something dropping on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see. The Xfinity Series and Truck Series prediction videos will be coming out here in the not-so-distant future, and we got a lot of great content dropping before we get to Christmas. So anyways, like I said, I want to thank you guys for watching today's episode, and I'll see you guys next time for more great, awesome NASCAR content and other motorsports content on the channel like this. Take care, everybody.